Gracie LaRue Set Sails by Marsha Qualey, illustrated by Christina Litton. Let's take a look at the back of the glossary. Belly flop means to land on your stomach. Curtsy is to put one foot in front of the other and to bend your knees as a way of formally greeting or saying hello to someone. Dazzling means exciting. Frolic, it means to run around and play. Glittering, sparkling. Persuade is to talk to someone into something. Splendid means beautiful and lovely. So this story, you're going to read about piglets on the ship. And they were very rowdy, meaning they were very noisy. So I want you to think about a situation when people around you are being rowdy. And what do you do? And the second thing I want you to think about is, why do you think the piglets calmed down when the granny stepped in? And think about the part that Gracie was afraid that she put her teammates in a bad situation. And let's pretend that you are on this journey with Gracie LaRue. Chapter 1. So let's take a look at all the characters in the story. Gracie is Gracie LaRue. She's in the team called Water Sprites. Water Sprites. And she is the youngest pig to join a synchronized swimming team, meaning they all swim in they perform for the people that are on the ship. Her signature move, it means that she's really good at, is when pigs fly. So she spin. What does she like? She likes purple. And what does she doesn't like? She doesn't like too much attention. She doesn't like doing laundry and scary movies. So the quote, it says, "I just hope I can be the kind of synchronized swimmer my team needs." So this is her team, Water Sprites. A stern captain. The word stern means a serious captain, someone who's serious. Gracie LaRue stood at the rail of the ship and watched dolphins frolic in the ocean. Remember frolic? Frolic means it's a happy movement. So, frolic in the ocean. "Welcome aboard, cousin," a voice called. Gracie spun around. "Joanna, it's so great to see you. And this cruise ship is just beautiful. Thank you so much for inviting us." So, remember Gracie and her team? The two cousins hugged. Then Joanna asked, "Where are the Water Sprites?" Gracie LaRue's team. "Still sleeping," Gracie said. "Everyone got to bed late because they were so excited. I am too." Then Gracie wrung her hooves. At first, the Brights weren't sure performing on this cruise was a good idea, but I convinced them we would get new fans if we did shows here. Suddenly, Joanna's eyes got wide and she straightened up. Gracie said, "What's wrong?" But Joanna spoke to someone behind Gracie. There's Joanna. "Hello, Captain," she said. Gracie turned around. Do you remember the stern captain? A sow in a splendid uniform walked up to them. She said to Joanna, "This must be one of the swimmers." Her voice sounded stern. A sow is another word for a pig. It's a female pig. The word stern means someone who's serious, right? Joanna nodded, and the captain continued. She looked at Gracie. "Your team has won many medals. I hope you can put on a good show." Joanna says you can. I'm putting my trust in her. With that, the captain walked away. Joanna turned to Gracie with wide, nervous eyes. Gracie hugged her and said, "We will make you proud. We can't wait to perform." Disaster. Uh-oh. The title is called Disaster. It means something's going to be wrong. Let's find out. Joanna showed Gracie around the ship. When they reached the top deck, the very top of the cruise ship, she said, "This is where the Sprite will perform every afternoon." So they're going to perform here. Gracie was delighted. Delighted means very happy. A water slide tower above the glittering pool. See how sparkly the pool is? Glittering. Suddenly, Joanna shouted, "Stop, ma'am. The pool is not open yet." A sow in an orange robe was dipping a hoof in the water, she said. "The captain told me I could have a quick dip before I taught my first class. I am Rita Sinclair." Gracie whispered, "You didn't tell me there was a famous dancer on the ship." Joanna nodded excitedly. Then she said to the sow, the female pig, "Miss Sinclair, I didn't recognize you. I am so sorry." Miss Sinclair smiled and said, "Quite all right, sweetie." Then she dropped her robe and dove into the water. So she jumped into the water. That afternoon, the Sprites got ready for their first show on the ship. The dressing room was busy and loud. Joanna poked her head in the door. "We're ready at the pool," she said. "The captain is there." Her eyes got wide and Gracie winked at her to reassure her. It means to tell her everything's going to be good. As the team lined up for their entrance walk, Gracie wished, "Please, please, please, please let it all be perfect." But everything was not perfect. Tiny piglets ran around their legs as they entered. Big... Uh-oh, what's going to happen? Pigs boo and shouted as the Sprites performed. "Woo! Get them out of the pool! Boo! Open the water slide!" One piglet threw a beach ball at the wiggly piggly pyramid. The Sprite fell and broke apart, belly flopping into the pool. Do you remember what belly flopping means? Land on your stomach. After that, Piglet thought it was funny to throw all sorts of things at the Sprites. Gracie triple spin was a triple tumble into the water. When she popped back up, she saw the captain near Joanna at the side of the pool. The captain was frowning and shaking her head. Uh-oh, she's not pleased. Chapter 3, Gracie's Idea. Joanna joined the team at dinner. "I'm so sorry about the show." Barb said that crowd was wild and mad. They wanted to be in the pool. Joanna said the captain got many complaints about the pool and water slide being closed. She looked near tears. "She's afraid we might have to cancel all your performances." All the Sprites gasped. "What's the problem in the story?" Well, the little piglets, or the piglets that are on the cruise, they are complaining that the pool and the water slide being closed, and they don't want to see any performance. And that's why all the Sprites were very shocked. They're very sad. "I persuaded the captain to let you have one more chance," Joanna said. "But she told me that if you don't make the crowd happy, then you will get off the ship at Port Wallow and go home." Oh, that's so mean, isn't it? In a way, the captain, her job is to make sure everyone on the ship stay happy. So the captain has no choice but to listen to everyone on the ship. So the Sprite, they need to do their very best to perform so that everyone can enjoy the show. Oh no, said Sue. What if the news get out that the water sprite failed? We wanted new fans, added Martha, not enemies. Gracie didn't want her friends to see her tears. She said, I'm going for a walk. Disaster. It means trouble, she thought, as she hurried away. How could she fix it? As Gracie walked on an upper deck, thinking hard, she heard music and thumping from one of the activity rooms. Tap dancing. Gracie peeked into the room. Do you think they're going to add music to their show? It was crowded with older sows. It means lots of female piglets. At the very front, with her back to the room, danced Rita Sinclair. Do you remember the sow that dipped into the pool early in the morning? Gracie watched and listened as the famous dancer called out steps, and the other dancer followed along. Miss Sinclair led the dancer around the room in a long line. Gracie smiled. She had a perfect idea. Fabulous show. When the class was over, Gracie slipped inside. Miss Sinclair was talking with 3 of the dancers. One of the dancers noticed Gracie. You're one of the swimming pigs. I saw your show yesterday. Another dancer said, those pigs were terrible, the way they threw things at you. Miss Sinclair wrinked her snout. Piglet bothered a performer. Unacceptable. The third dancer said, if my grandpigs did something like that, they would be in trouble. Gracie said, Miss Sinclair, you don't know me, but I'm a big fan. I've watched videos of your hogway shows over and over. How very sweet, said Miss Sinclair, curtsying. Remember curtsy? It means you put one foot in front of the other and bend the knees. And when I was watching the class, Gracie continued, I had an idea how to make our next show go better, but I would need your help. She looked at the other dancer. In fact, we need all of your help. We need all of you to help us. The next afternoon, a huge crowd waited by the pool. There are so many people today, Ginny said to Gracie. Rita and her dancers certainly spread the word, said Gracie. When the music began, Miss Sinclair led 2 lines of tap dancing sows through the crowd to the people. At the water's edge, the line danced apart. There were the water sprites. Water sprite? The dancer tapped into the position all around the pool, and the sprite dove in. See, they all jumped in, one at a time. With Miss Sinclair and the grannies on guard, no piglets caused trouble. See the grannies? They're making sure all the little piglets are not being rowdy, not being noisy, so they can watch the performance. With Miss Sinclair and the grannies leading the cheers, the crowd joined in. The show was like a wonderful dream. The dolphin arches formation made a beautiful circle. Look at that. The Wiggly Piggly Pyramid rose high above the water. She did a great job. Gracie's final spin into the pool dazzled the crowd. It means, what does it mean to dazzle? It means exciting. So it made the crowd very excited because of the way she spun. When she burst back up, she heard a fresh roar of applause. Everyone clapped. That's what it means, applause. She saw piglets dancing with the sows. Sow, a female pigs. She saw smiling faces, and she saw the captain hugging Joanna. Here's the captain. She heard the captain say, "What a great idea, Joanna. How many shows can we get them to do?" Gracie trolled happily. The end. So do you remember what happened? The piglets on the ship were very rowdy and noisy, and they threw stuff at the water sprite. What do you do when someone is rowdy? Well, you wait for an adult or someone who is in charge to tell the other kids around you to not be so rowdy. The piglets calmed down is because the grannies were standing right there, making sure that they don't misbehave. And Gracie did a good job with solving the problem, because they had a bad situation, because the first show, the crowd were not happy. They were not happy with the show. But in the end, she was able to solve it by asking Sinclair to come and dance, and the grannies to make sure everyone enjoyed the show. The end.